Is this mine? Yeah, this is mine. Yeah. That must be yours. There we go. Nice. Look at that. Hey, some respect. All right. Yep, let's do it. How you doing?
All righty. Ms. Barbary, roll call.
Yes, sir. Lee Mallett, William Cluott,
Here.
Brian Bordelon,
Here.
Noah Broussard,
Here.
Kristen Brown,
Here.
Kim DiGiovanni, Courtney Finet,
Thank you.
David Gallo,
Here.
Adam Gwynn,
Here.
Stephen Hackworth,
Here.
Curtis Joseph,
Here.
Donald Lambert,
Here.
Garland Meredith,
Here.
Christopher Stewart,
Here.
Elliot Temple,
Here.
Keith Tillage, Victor Weston. We have a quorum.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Stewart, would you mind leading us in the pledge? Please stand.
Stand over your heart, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Starks, would you mind introducing yourself?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Tanika Starks, and I'm an Assistant Attorney General at the Louisiana Department of Justice, and I will be presiding over today's administrative hearing pursuant to Louisiana Procedure Act. The board will make all findings of fact, inclusions of law, but I will govern the procedure by which we operate, administer oaths and affirmations, rule on the admissibility of evidence, and ensure due process for all participants during the hearing. We ask for decorum during these procedures. Can you please silence all cell phones at this time? Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right. Consideration of the April's board meeting minutes.
Move to accept them as type. Second, Mayor.
We have a motion and a second to accept the minutes as typed. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right. Motion carried. All right. Mr. Beavers, introductions. Welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman or Vice Chairman, members of the board. If we could begin by swearing in the staff and investigators. Frank Vaughn, Darlene Board, Lori LaRose, Wade Day, David Ham, Kristen McKee, Stephanie Belanger, Andy Futrell, Lonnie Lusco, John LeBlanc, Todd Eatman, Ronnie Dawsey, Jude Matthews, Clay Rivas, Lane Anderson, Joe Anderson, Leanne Evans, Logan Cochran, Jared Watson, and myself, Sean Beavers.
Can you please raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
I do.
Thank you.
We are ready.
All righty. Public comments. Any comments? With no comments, let's move on. New business.
Okay. Item D1, Gary Husak Sr. or any representatives present.
Let the record reflect that no one is present on behalf of Gary Husak Sr.
We have a settlement offer. Gary Husak Sr. of Folsom, Louisiana is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for acting as a contractor to perform work without possessing a Louisiana state contractor's license at 1948 Horseman Road in Vinton, Louisiana in the amount of $63,091.82. This is his first appearance. He held a home improvement registration from June 4th of 2021 until June 4th of 2022 when it expired. He has not applied for a commercial license but intends to. He's offering a no contest plea, $1,000 fine, and $1,000 cost.
Call Frank Vaughn.
Mr. Vaughn has been sworn.
Mr. Vaughn, in front of you, exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in a regular and ordinary course of business of the Licensing Board for Contractors for this matter?
Yes, sir.
We'll offer the exhibits into the record.
Exhibits are admitted.
Submit the settlement offer for consideration.
Joseph, move to accept.
Temple, second.
We have a motion and a second to accept the offer. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Next.
Metairie Cabinet Tops, Inc. or any representatives present.
Let the record reflect that no one is present on behalf of Metairie Cabinet Tops, Inc.
We have a settlement offer. Metairie Cabinet Tops, Inc. of Metairie, Louisiana is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for acting as a contractor to perform work without possessing a Louisiana state contractor's license at 333 West Esplanade Avenue in Metairie, Louisiana, in the amount of $59,369. This is their first appearance. They applied on October 29th of 2024. It is pending exams. They're offering a no contest plea, $1,000 fine, and $1,000 cost.
Call Darlene Borg.
Mr. Borg has been sworn.
Ms. Borg, in front of you are exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular and ordinary course of business of the License Board for Contractors?
Yes, they were.
We offer the exhibits into the record.
Exhibits are admitted.
Submit the settlement offer for consideration.
Move to accept. Second, Mayor.
We have a motion by Mr. Lambert, a second by Mr. Stewart to accept the offer. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Hubs Properties, LLC, are any representatives present?
Let the record reflect that no one is present on behalf of Hubs Properties, LLC.
Hubs Properties, LLC of Prairieville, Louisiana is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for entering into a contract with an unlicensed contractor to perform work on the Fifth African Baptist Church project in St. Rose, Louisiana, in the amount of $155,756.70. This is their second appearance. They were here September 19th of 2024 for failure to provide records on this same project. They pled no contest and paid $1,000. They've held a commercial license since August 28th of 2018 and a residential license since August 3rd of 2007.
Call Lori LaRose.
Mr. Rose has been sworn.
Ms. LaRose, in front of you are exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular and ordinary course of business of the License Board for Contractors for this matter?
They were.
We offer the exhibits into the record.
Exhibits are admitted.
Ms. LaRose, according to the documents, it appears that Hubs Properties, LLC were provided with notice of this violation and of this hearing by certified mail. Is that correct?
That's correct.
The records also show that Hubs Properties, LLC entered into an agreement with an unlicensed contractor that I think it was Roughneck. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And the amount of that contract was $155,756.70, which included labor and materials. Is that correct?
That's correct.
We submit to the board that, at the time, no, that's fine. We submit to the board that Hubs Properties LLC is in violation of Louisiana contractors licensing laws for entering into a contract with an unlicensed contractor in the total amount of $155,756.70 on a commercial construction project. We ask that you find them guilty of the violation, issue the appropriate fines and costs.
Joseph, move to find the violation.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for violation. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Max fine plus cost.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Roughneck Builders and Remodeling, LLC, are any representatives present?
Let the record reflect that no one is present on behalf of Roughneck Builders and Remodeling, LLC.
Roughneck Builders and Remodeling, LLC of Metairie, Louisiana is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for acting as a contractor to perform work without possessing a Louisiana state contractor's license on the Fifth African Baptist Church project in St. Rose, Louisiana, in the amount of $155,756.70. This is their first appearance and they have not applied.
Call Lori LaRose.
Ms. LaRose has been sworn.
Ms. LaRose, in front of you are exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in regular and ordinary course of business of the Licensing Board for Contractors?
They were.
We offer the exhibits into the record.
Exhibits are admitted.
Ms. LaRose, according to the exhibits, it appears that Roughneck Builders and Remodeling LLC was provided with notice by a letter that was posted on the door of the last known address of Roughneck. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And then we've not heard from Roughneck since that posting, as far as you know?
No, sir.
According to the documents, it also shows that at the exhibit of 2E that Roughneck worked on a commercial project. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And did not possess licensing with this board when they worked on that project. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And the total amount of that work with labor and materials included was $155,756.70. Is that correct?
That's correct.
We submit to the board that Roughneck Builders and Remodeling LLC is in violation of Louisiana contractors licensing laws for failure to possess a license and performing work on a commercial project in the total amount of $155,000 $756.70. We ask that you find them guilty of that violation, issue the appropriate fines and costs.
Question. Did we, is this project completed?
Yes.
Okay, all right, good.
It was a church project.
All right,
Move to find them guilty.
Second.
we have a motion and a second for a guilty. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries.
Max fine
Max fine plus cost.
plus cost.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for maximum fine plus cost. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Next.
Richard J. Rogers Plumbing LLC. Are any representatives present?
Let the record reflect no one is present on behalf of Richard J. Rogers Plumbing LLC.
Richard J. Rogers Plumbing LLC of Kiln, Mississippi is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for acting as a contractor to perform plumbing work without possessing a Louisiana State Contractor's License on the Murphy Oil USA project in West Monroe, Louisiana, in the amount of $15,000. This is their first appearance. They applied on November 25th of 2024. That is pending. Mr. Rogers was a licensed master plumber with the Plumbing Board, but that license expired on December 31st of 2024.
Call Wade Day.
Mr. Day has been sworn.
Mr. Day, in front of you are exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular and ordinary course of business of Licensed Board for Contractors?
Yes, sir, they were.
We offer the exhibits into the record.
Exhibits are admitted.
Mr. Day, it appears that Richard J. Rogers Plumbing LLC was provided with notice of its violation and of this hearing date by certified mail as indicated Exhibit 4. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Also shows that Richard J. Rogers Plumbing LLC performed plumbing work on a Murphy Oil project. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And at the time did not possess licensing with this board to perform that plumbing work. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And the amount of that project was $15,000. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
We submit to the board that Richard J. Rogers Plumbing LLC is in violation of Louisiana licensing laws for failing to possess the necessary plumbing commercial license with this board and performing work in the amount of $15,000. We ask that you find them guilty of the violation, issue the appropriate fines and costs.
Move to find them guilty.
We have a motion and a second for guilty. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries.
Move to find them 1,500 plus cost.
Joseph, second.
We have a motion and a second for 1,500 plus costs. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Next.
Dayana Ruiz, doing business as Pink Sunlight LLC. Are any representatives present?
Let the record reflect no one is present on behalf of Dayana Ruiz, DBA Pink Sunlight LLC.
Dayana Ruiz, doing business as Pink Sunlight LLC of Houston, Texas, is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for acting as a contractor to perform solar panel installation work without possessing a Louisiana State Contractor's License at 4420 Fairway Drive in Shreveport, Louisiana, in the amount of $46,000. This is her first appearance and she has not applied.
Call David Ham.
Mr. Ham has been sworn.
Mr. Ham, in front of you are exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular and ordinary course of business of the Licensed Board for Contractors?
Yes, sir.
We offer the exhibits into the record.
Exhibits are admitted.
Mr. Ham, according to the documents, it appears that Diana Ruiz was served by certified mail of this violation and of this hearing date. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And according to the records, Diana Ruiz, doing business as Pink Sunlight LLC, worked as a salesperson to sell solar services and construction in the state of Louisiana. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And at the time that Diana Ruiz was doing that, she did not possess the necessary licensing with this board to sell these solar projects. Is that correct?
Correct.
And the total amount of that project was $46,000. Is that correct?
Correct.
And eventually that project was sold and performed by another contractor. Is that correct?
Correct.
And Ms. Ruiz was selling on behalf of that contractor. Is that correct?
Correct.
We submit to the board that Diana Ruiz, doing business as Pink Sunlight LLC, is in violation of Louisiana contractors' licensing laws for failure to possess necessary licensing with this board to sell solar services and construction and installation and that total amount of that project was $46,000. We ask that you find him guilty of the violation and issue the appropriate fines and costs.
Guilty.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Thanks. All righty, you fine?
Move to find the max plus cost.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for max fine plus costs. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
GC Legacy Plumbing LLC. Are any representatives present?
The clerk will reflect that no one is present on behalf of GC Legacy Plumbing LLC.
We have a settlement offer. GC Legacy Plumbing LLC of Dallas, Texas is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for acting as a contractor to perform plumbing work without possessing a Louisiana State Contractor's License on the Starbucks remodel project in Lake Charles, Louisiana, in the amount of $61,900. This is their first appearance. They applied on December 18th of 2024. That is pending. I received a phone call from them stating that the employee they planned to use as the qualifier unexpectedly passed away, and so they're trying to find a replacement. They are not licensed with the Louisiana Plumbing Board at this time. They're offering a no contest plea, $1,000 fine, and $1,000 cost.
Call Frank Vaughn.
Mr. Vaughn has been sworn.
Mr. Vaughn, in front of you are exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular and ordinary course of business of licensing with the contractors for this matter?
Yes, sir.
We offer those exhibits into the record.
Exhibits are admitted.
Submit the settlement offer for consideration.
Joseph moved to accept. Second. Bordelon.
We have a motion and a second for a no contest plea plus a settlement offer. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Dorsey Development Companies LLC. Are any representatives present?
Can you state your name and your affiliation with the company?
Christopher Pearson, Director of Construction for Dorsey Development Companies, LLC.
And are you authorized to testify or speak on behalf of the company?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
I do.
Thank you.
And we do have a settlement offer for this case. Dorsey Development Companies LLC of Metairie, Louisiana is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for entering into a contract with an unlicensed contractor to perform work on the Dollar General project in Walker, Louisiana, in the amount of $174,141. This is their third appearance. They were here in March of 2015 for entering into a contract with an unlicensed contractor, pled no contest, and paid $500. They were here April 15th of 2021 for entering into a contract with an unlicensed contractor, pled no contest, and paid $500. They're offering a no contest plea, a $3,000 fine, and $1,000 cost.
Call Kristen McKee.
Ms. McKee has been sworn.
Ms. McKee, in front of you are exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular ordinary course of business of the Licensing Board for Contractors for this matter?
Yes, sir.
We offer the exhibits into the record.
Mr. Pierce, was it? Sir?
Yes, Mr. Pearson.
Pearson, have you had an opportunity to review those documents?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any objection to those documents being entered into the record?
No, ma'am, I do not.
Thank you. Exhibits are admitted.
Submit the settlement offer for consideration.
Can we, there were two violations, similar violations.
Yes, sir.
And so you're sitting here with the third. You've got an offer here, and, but can you explain to us why we're here for the third time? And why, how is it not going to happen again?
I've reviewed the record of the first two violations, and I'll tell you the first violation, I wasn't under the employment of Dorsey Development at the time, and looking at the facts of that case as we know them, I think both the involved subcontractor and Dorsey Development could have used a little bit better defense than to simply pay the fines and not contest it. The subcontractor was licensed at the time, but he was advertising his business under a different trade name. Records show that as far as contracting and invoicing was done, it was with the licensed name that's with the state.
But it was a technical violation, different names. So it sounds like.
I believe it was on the subcontractor's part.
Yeah.
The records that I can find in Dorsey's files is that Dorsey would have been compliant. Had I been working for Dorsey at the time, I would have recommended that we would take that position then. But the fact of the matter is that we have the violation on our record, and it's our job to avoid that again. The second violation was with a concrete subcontractor who allowed his license to lapse during the bidding and contracted portion of that project. We had vetted him sometime prior to that, earlier in the year, but we didn't follow up. Administrative error on our part, as was this third violation. In good news, we've been very successful and our business has grown substantially in the last 2 to 3 years. With that, I think human error has slipped into some of our processes and practices. In this particular case, the subcontractor had done work for us under contract in the state of Mississippi. The state of Mississippi does not combine the value of the labor with the cost of the materials in determining the threshold for licensure. That subcontractor was vetted in the state of Mississippi. That carryover approval on our end wasn't double checked when we entered into a contract with him in Louisiana. It's a clerical mistake, and it's simply one that occurred on my watch, and quite frankly, it's my job to change that process so that we're vetting our contractors by state and not simply, I guess, from a collective nature. So the violation is ours, and we own it, and we don't contest this third one.
Yeah, so the violation in this case is that A&S charged $34,000 for steel erection, and then when you combine that with the building cost, that's how you got over the $50,000 for the violation.
Correct.
All right, thanks. All right, any more questions? What are the wishes of the board? We got
Ms. Evans, you stated it, but when was the last violation?
2021.
2021.
Yeah. All right. Currently, we have a settlement offer of $3,000 plus $1,000.
I move that we accept the offer.
I second.
We have a motion and a second to accept the offer. Any more discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Pearson, we appreciate you coming here and explaining, but we really don't care to see you again.
No, I think this is a beautiful facility, and I don't care to see the inside of it. So I do.
Yeah,
appreciate
let's just make sure it's pretty. You've got the app, the licensure app. Pass it on to all your employees. There's no reason that anybody should go without using the proper licensure.
Stay on top of that. Yeah.
Correct. And with a little bit of hindsight, it's easy to see even a labor-only license on behalf of A&S would have got us out of this.
Lots of ways to protect yourself. All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Board.
All right.
Thank you, Ms. McKee.
Andres Salas, doing business as AS Building LLC. Are any representatives present?
Let the record reflect the known as present. I'm going to have Andre Salas, DBA ANS Building LLC.
We have a settlement offer. Andres Salas, doing business as AS Building LLC of Ooltewah, Tennessee, is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for acting as a contractor to perform work without possessing a Louisiana State Contractor's License on the Dollar General project in Walker, Louisiana, in the amount of $174,141. This is his first appearance. He has not applied yet. He's offering a no contest plea, $1,000 fine, and 1,000 costs.
Call Kristen McKee.
Ms. McKee has been sworn.
Mr. McKee, you have in front of you exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular, ordinary course of business of the Licensed Board for Contractors for this matter?
Yes, sir.
We offer the exhibits into the record.
Exhibits are admitted.
Submit the settlement offer for consideration.
Move to accept, Portal.
Temple second.
We have a motion and a second to accept. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Charlie Thomas Jr. Are any representatives present?
Let the record reflect the known as present on behalf of Charlie Thomas Jr.
We have a settlement offer. Charlie Thomas Jr. of Winsboro, Louisiana, is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for acting as a contractor to perform work without possessing a Louisiana State Contractor's License on the Baskin-Robbins project in Monroe, Louisiana, in the amount of $103,349.07. This is his first appearance. He applied on March 3rd of 2025. That application is pending. He's offering a no contest plea, $1,000 fine, and 1,000 cost.
Call Wade Day.
Mr. Day has been sworn.
Mr. Day, in front of you, exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular and ordinary course of business of the Licensed Board for Contractors for this matter?
Yes, sir, they were.
We submit the exhibits into the record.
Exhibits are admitted.
Submit the settlement offer for consideration.
Joseph, move to accept.
Temple. Second.
Noah Broussard.
We have a motion and a second to accept the offer. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries.
Sophisticated Sounds, Inc., are any representatives present?
Let the record reflect no one is present on behalf of Sophisticated Sounds, Inc.
Sophisticated Sounds, Inc. of Arlington, Texas is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for acting as a contractor to perform electrical work without possessing a Louisiana State Contractor's License on the Golden Chick projects in multiple locations in the amount of $35,685. This is their first appearance and they have not applied.
Call Frank Vaughn.
Mr. Vaughn has been sworn.
Mr. Vaughn, in front of you are exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular and ordinary course of business of the Licensing Board for Contractors?
Yes, sir.
We'll offer those exhibits into the record.
Exhibits are admitted.
Mr. Vaughn, according to the records, it appears that Sophisticated Sounds, Inc. was provided with notice of its violation of this hearing date by certified mail. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
It also shows that Sophisticated Sounds, Inc. Performed services, which I think were sound system installs at drive-thrus. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And there were 3 different locations, but all of them were over $10,000. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
At each location.
Yes, sir.
And that's why the total is $35,685. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And the licensing that was required for these projects was telecommunications or low voltage licensing with the commercial board. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And they did not possess that at the time. Is that correct?
They did not.
We submit to the board that Sophisticated Sounds, Inc. is in violation of Louisiana contractors' licensing laws for failure to possess the necessary licensing with this board to perform telecommunications or low voltage work in the amount of $35,685. We ask that you find them guilty of the violation, issue the appropriate fines and costs.
Move to find him guilty.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for guilty. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries.
Move to find him max plus cost.
Second.
We have a motion for maximum fine plus cost of hearing. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Next.
Iceman AC and Electrical LLC, are any representatives present?
Let the record reflect no one is present on behalf of Iceman AC and Electric LLC.
Iceman AC and Electric LLC of Cutoff, Louisiana is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for acting as a contractor to perform work without possessing a Louisiana State Contractor's License on the Chenier Fishing Pier project in Grand Isle, Louisiana in the amount of $57,824.68. This is their first appearance. They applied on October 23rd of 2024 and it's pending exams.
Call Lori LaRose.
Mr. Rhodes has been sworn.
Ms. LaRose, in front of you are exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular and ordinary course of business of the Licensing Board for Contractors?
They were.
We offer those exhibits into the record.
Exhibits are admitted.
Ms. LaRose, according to the exhibits, it appears that Iceman AC and Electric LLC were provided with notice of its violation and of this hearing date by certified mail. Is that correct?
That's correct.
The records also show that Iceman performed work, electrical work in the amount of $57,824.68. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And at the time did not possess licensing with this board to perform that electrical work. Is that correct?
That's correct.
We submit to the board that Iceman AC and Electric LLC is in violation of Louisiana's licensing laws for failure to possess necessary licensing with this board to perform electrical work on a commercial project in the amount of $57,824.68. We ask that you find them guilty of the violation, issue the appropriate fines and costs.
Move to find them guilty, borderline. Second. Married.
We have a motion and a second for guilty. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Fine.
Max fine plus cost. Second.
We have a motion and a second for max fine plus cost. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries.
Iceman AC and Electric LLC, are any representatives present?
Let the record reflect no one is present on behalf of Iceman AC and Electric LLC.
Iceman AC and Electric LLC of Cutoff, Louisiana is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for acting as a contractor to perform work without possessing a Louisiana State Contractor's License at 5001 Drake Lane in Grand Isle, Louisiana, in the amount of $60,000. This is their first appearance. They applied October 23rd of 2024. It's pending exams.
Call Dylan Borg.
Mr. Borg has been sworn.
Mr. Borg, in front of you are exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were those exhibits prepared in the regular and ordinary course of business of the Licensing Board for Contractors for this matter involving Iceman AC, which is docket number 2024-0478-02?
Yes, they were.
We'll offer those exhibits into the record.
Exhibits are admitted.
Mr. Borg, according to the records, it appears that Iceman was provided with notice of its violation and of a hearing date by certified mail. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And it was also provided a follow-up through email. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And according to the documents, it appears that Iceman performed electrical work involving camp shed, boat shed. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And the total amount of that invoice was for $60,000. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And at the time, Iceman AC and Electric LLC did not possess licensing with this board to perform that electrical work. Is that correct?
They did not.
We submit to the board that Iceman AC and Electric LLC is in violation of Louisiana Contractors Licensing Laws for failure to possess necessary electrical license with this board to perform electrical work in the amount of $60,000. We ask that you find them guilty of the violation, issue the appropriate fines and costs.
Counsel, before the board makes the decision on the matter, is there any documentation that shows any service for today's hearing date?
I don't have, all I have is do we have the email?
You're asking for documentation for a notice?
For notice for today's hearing date.
Yeah, it was initially set and at the request of Iceman was moved. We just, might be a missing email in the,
Yes. I have an email. We'll have to print it if it's not in
so we have an email. What's the date on it? Leanne Evans is going to testify to this. What's the date on it?
February 27th, 2025.
And it's an email to who?
Office Iceman AC and Electric LLC, and I give them the date of May 15th, 2025 at 9:30 a.m. and they respond by saying thank you for the update.
Okay. And we're going to supplement the record with that,
Okay.
Ms. Starks.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thanks.
Motion to find him guilty, Meredith.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to find him guilty. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Maximum fine plus cost.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for maximum fine plus cost. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Next.
Metairie Air Conditioning and Heating and Refrigeration Company, Inc., or any representatives present?
Let the record reflect the known as present on behalf of Metairie Conditioning, Heating, and Refrigeration Company, Inc.
We have a settlement offer. Metairie Air Conditioning, Heating, and Refrigeration Company, Inc. of Harahan, Louisiana, is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for acting as a contractor to perform work without possessing a Louisiana State Contractor's License at 1205 Louisiana Avenue in New Orleans, Louisiana, in the amount of $95,878. This is their first appearance. They applied on May 8th of 2025. It's pending exam. They're offering a no contest plea, $1,000 fine, and $1,000 cost.
Call Stephanie Belanger.
Ms. Belanger has been sworn.
Ms. Belanger, in front of you are exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular and ordinary course of business of the Licensing Board for Contractors for this matter involving Metairie Air Conditioning?
They were.
We offer the exhibits into the record.
Exhibits are admitted.
Submit the settlement offer for consideration.
Joseph moved to accept.
Temple second.
We have a motion and a second to accept the offer. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries.
Big Easy Signs, LLC, or any representatives present?
Let the record reflect the known as present on behalf of Big Easy Signs, LLC.
We have a settlement offer. Big Easy Signs LLC of Arabi, Louisiana is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for acting as a contractor to perform work without possessing a Louisiana State Contractor's License on the Wynn Health Center project in Winfield, Louisiana, in the amount of $85,067.15. This is their first appearance. They obtained their commercial license yesterday. They're offering a no contest plea, $1,000 fine, and $1,000 cost.
Call Michael Futrell.
Mr. Futrell has been sworn.
Mr. Futrell, in front of you are exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular and ordinary course of business of license support for contractors for this matter involving Big Easy Signs?
Yes, they were.
We'll offer those exhibits into the record.
Exhibits are admitted.
Submit the settlement offer for consideration.
Move that we accept.
Second, Don Wimp.
We have a motion and a second to accept the offer as stated. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Next.
Thrive Construction LLC, are any representatives present?
Let the record reflect that no one is present on behalf of Thrive Construction LLC.
Thrive Construction LLC of Schaumburg, Illinois is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for acting as a contractor to perform work without possessing a Louisiana State Contractor's License on the Wingstop project in New Orleans, Louisiana, in the amount of $300,000. This is their second appearance. They were here September 19th of 2024 for 2 cases. For not having a license, they were found guilty in both cases and fined $28,500 plus $1,000 cost per case. That total of $59,000 has been turned over to the Attorney General's Office for collection, and they have not applied.
Call Lonnie Lesko.
Mr. Lesko has been sworn.
Mr. Lesko, in front of you, exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular and ordinary course of business of license support for contractors for this matter?
Yes, sir.
We offer those exhibits into the record.
Exhibits are admitted.
Mr. Lesko, it appears from the service information at exhibit number 4 that Thrive Construction LLC was provided with notice of its violation and of this hearing date by certified mail. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
The records also show that that Thrive Construction LLC performed commercial construction work in the amount of $300,000. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And at the time that they performed that commercial construction work, did not possess licensing with this board to perform the construction work. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And again, that was on a commercial project. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
We submit to the board that Thrive Construction LLC is in violation of Louisiana contractors' licensing laws for failure to possess necessary licensing with this board to perform work on a commercial project in the amount of $300,000. We ask that you find them guilty of the violation and issue the appropriate fines and costs.
What are the wishes of the board?
Move to find him guilty.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for guilty. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Move to find him max plus cost.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for maximum fine plus cost of hearing. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries.
Angel Fabrication LLC, are any representatives present?
Let the record reflect that no one is present on behalf of Angel Fabrication LLC.
We have a settlement offer. Angel Fabrication LLC of Lafayette, Louisiana is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for acting as a contractor to perform work without possessing a Louisiana State Contractor's License on the new airplane hangar project in Opelousas, Louisiana, in the amount of $181,629.47. This is their first appearance. They have not applied. However, they are the owner of the project, and they were acting as an unlicensed GC. They're offering a no contest plea, a $2,000 fine, and $1,000 cost.
Call John LeBlanc.
Mr. LeBlanc has been sworn.
Mr. LeBlanc, in front of you are exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular and ordinary course of business of the licensing board for contractors for this matter?
Yes.
We offer the exhibits into the record.
Exhibits are admitted.
Submit the settlement offer for consideration.
Move to accept.
Second, Joseph.
We have a motion and a second to accept the offer. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries.
AF and RL Enterprises LLC, are any representatives present?
Let the record reflect that no one is present on behalf of AF and RL Enterprises LLC.
We have a settlement offer. AF and RL Enterprises LLC of Opelousas, Louisiana is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for acting as a contractor to perform work without possessing a Louisiana State Contractor's License on the new airplane hangar project in Opelousas, Louisiana, in the amount of $182,682.56. This is their first appearance. They have not applied, but they were the owner of the project. They're offering a no contest plea, a $2,000 fine, and $1,000 cost.
Call John LeBlanc.
Mr. LeBlanc has been sworn.
Mr. LeBlanc, in front of you, exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular and ordinary course of business of the Licensing Board for Contractors for this matter?
Yes.
We offer the exhibits into the record.
Exhibits are admitted.
Submit the settlement offer for consideration.
Joseph, move to accept. Second.
I have a motion and second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Landry Construction, Inc. Are any representatives present?
Let the record reflect that no one is present on behalf of Landry Construction, Inc.
We have a settlement offer. Landry Construction, Inc. of Kenner, Louisiana is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for entering into a contract with an unlicensed contractor to perform work on the Grand Isle Marina project in Grand Isle, Louisiana in the amount of $83,100. This is their second appearance. They were here in November of 2020 for entering into a contract with an unlicensed contractor, pled no contest, and paid $1,500. They've held a commercial license since February of 1999 and a residential license since November of 2020. They're offering a no contest plea, a $1,000 fine, and $1,000 cost.
Call Lori LaRose.
Ms. LaRose has been sworn.
Ms. LaRose, in front of you, exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular and ordinary course of business of the Licensing Board for Contractors?
They were.
We offer the exhibits into the record.
Exhibits are admitted.
Submit the settlement offer for consideration.
Move to accept. Hold on. Stewart, second.
We have a motion and a second to accept. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries.
Adams Land and Property Management, LLC. Are any representatives present?
Yes.
Good morning. Henry LaFawn representing Adams Land and Property Management, along with Matt Adams, the owner of Adams Land.
Can you speak into the microphone for me, Counsel?
Yes.
Can you repeat that?
You can be.
I'm sorry. Henry LaFawn on behalf of Adams Land and Property Management, LLC, along with Mr. Matt Adams, the owner of Adams Land.
Okay. Mr. Adams, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. And when you speak, can you speak into the microphone for me?
And Mr. Adams wishes to enter no contest plea on this matter.
Let's go ahead and read it.
Let's go ahead and read
Let's
the
read
charge.
the
Let's go ahead and read the
violation.
charge and read it to the record.
Adams Land and Property Management, LLC of LaRose, Louisiana is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for acting as a contractor to perform work without possessing a Louisiana State Contractor's License on the Grand Isle Marina project in Grand Isle, Louisiana in the amount of $83,100. This is their first appearance. They applied for a home improvement registration and a commercial license on October 13th of 2023. Both of those were written off. They applied for a residential license and a home improvement registration on March 20th of 2025. Those are pending. We have no current commercial application on file.
Can you restate your plea, Counsel, for your client? Restate your plea for your client.
No contest on behalf of my client.
Temple, move to accept.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to accept the no contest plea. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries.
Call Lori LaRose.
Ms. LaRose has been sworn.
Ms. LaRose, in front of you, exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular and ordinary course of business of Licensing Board for Contractors for this matter involving Adams Land and Property Management, LLC?
They were.
We offer the exhibits into the record.
Counsel, have you had an opportunity to review those documents?
Yes, we did.
No. Do you have any objection to
No
those
objection.
documents? Okay. No objection. The exhibits are admitted.
Ms. LaRose, according to the documents, it appears that Adams Land and Property Management, LLC performed work on a commercial project or agreed to perform work on a commercial project in the amount of $83,100. Is that correct?
That's correct.
No further questions.
Counsel, do you have any questions for this witness?
None, Your Honor.
Would you like to make an offer to the board?
Well, I'll tell you what, before you make an offer, would you make a statement of how you ended up here?
Unfortunately,
Mr. Adams?
Ms. Adams?
Well, if you want to speak on his behalf, that's fine. I just want to know how we ended up here with a previous, which we're looking at is here is a previous attempt to get licensed and that you didn't follow through with. Is that correct, Ms. Evans?
Yeah, I couldn't afford the workman's comp last year.
Okay.
Now I have the workman's comp, but it's pending.
Okay. So you knew the law before, I guess, is my point. You understood and you ended up.
So in 2021, I bought some properties after Hurricane Ida.
Okay.
I was remodeling my own properties with
All
my
right.
own crews. And we had all kinds of out-of-state contractors and this and that. So very active in my community. And a lot of people called me to help them out. So I did. Never intended on being a contractor. And now here I am. And now I'm going to proceed to do my paperwork and become a contractor.
What's your, so you're going to get licensed, property license, is what
Yes,
you're
sir.
saying? All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow up with my commercial as soon as I finish my residential.
All right.
And your residential is pending right now?
Yes, sir.
And how long has it been pending?
Since March 20th of 2025.
Okay.
All right.
Were you guys prepared to make an offer, or did you,
I would ask that we do a $1,000 fine, 1,000 costs.
Move to accept.
Well,
okay? All right.
Yep.
I like to make an alternate motion. I move that we fine you. I move that we fine you the max fine plus cost if you get your license within 120 days. We'll reduce that fine to 1,000 plus cost.
Just a second.
Are we procedurally here? We had a motion.
So we
to
had a
accept,
motion
And then we,
to
No
accept.
second. No second.
There was no second. We have an alternate motion.
right.
There is a second. So if that one dies, then we go back to the original
I
offer.
only did have to
I
work.
understand these are the same.
It's the same.
Yeah.
If we could make it 180 days instead of 120.
Okay.
Just to confirm. Okay.
Let me explain the motion to you. Effectively, it's your offer, but what we don't want to do is, what we don't care to do is just issue an accepted offer that you have, and you not properly get licensed. What we're trying to do is give you an allotted time to get properly licensed, if you will, Mr. Adams, which sounds like it's generous. 180 days is what we are right now, and encourage you to do that. It's going to go back to that same offer you have, but you know, what we want to do is have properly licensed contractors here. That's essentially what we
I
have.
completely understand. I do want to say that I'm going to have another case on July 17th, but trying to help out a friend, and
All right.
here I am. So that's why my
Okay.
license is pending right now,
Right.
holding that.
No problem.
Has he tested? Oh,
We don't have a commercial application on file.
okay. You don't have the commercial.
They're not
Okay.
allowing me.
He has a residential right now. He does not have a commercial.
All right, Mr. Stewart. Any more comments?
No, I agree with
So currently we have a motion for essentially the max fine plus cost that will be reduced to 1,000 plus cost if you were properly licensed in 180 days. All right, that's the motion.
And if not, you have to.
And if not, you reverse back to the original fine.
I'll second that.
Give you a good incentive.
We have we already had a motion and a second. Any more discussion with regard to that?
May I?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
One other thing I do want to add, he only did half the work for like 40,000. He never did do work for 80,000.
Yeah,
In this matter.
I got you, but I think you'll end up where you are if you follow through. You're going to be in good shape. And you've obviously got some recourse, but I think you're in good shape. All right. So, any more questions? All right. We have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you coming up.
J&J Steel Erectors and Welding LLC, are any representatives present?
Let the record reflect no one is present on behalf of J&J Steel Erectors and Welding LLC.
We have a settlement offer. J&J Steel Erectors and Welding LLC of Cypress, Texas is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for acting as a contractor to perform work without possessing a Louisiana State Contractor's License on the Walmart number 5327 project in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, in the amount of $58,000. This is their first appearance. They applied for a commercial license on August 30th of 2024. It is pending. He is working on getting this. He's having some trouble passing the exam. They're offering a no contest plea, $1,000 fine, and $1,000 cost.
Call Ronald Dawsey.
Mr. Dawsey has been sworn.
Mr. Dawsey, in front of you, exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular and ordinary course of business of the Licensing Board for Contractors for this matter?
Yes, sir, they were.
We'll offer the exhibits into the record.
Exhibits are admitted.
Submit the settlement offer for consideration.
Move to accept, Stewart.
Temple second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries.
Ryan Joseph K. Rose Sr. Are any representatives present?
My name is John Gennard. I'm here on behalf of Mr. Ryan Caro, who's president before the board.
Mr. Carroll, can you raise your right hand for me? Thank you. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Can you repeat those names? I'm sorry.
So my first name is John, J-O-H-N. My last name is Gennard, G-I-N-A-R-T, like gin like the alcohol and art like a piece of art.
Ryan Joseph Caro.
Yeah.
Caro's AC and Heating.
All right.
That's your first time saying that.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you.
Okay.
Make him pronounce Kluwat.
Ryan Joseph K. Rose Sr. of Chalmette, Louisiana is before you today for consideration of alleged violations for bidding or contracting in a name other than the one that appears on the Louisiana State Contractor's License, entering into a contract with an unlicensed contractor, and for permitting the contractor's license to be used by another contractor when the other contractor does not hold a license for the classification for work which the contract was entered on the Golden Chick project in Sulphur, Louisiana, in the amount of $93,500. This is his first appearance. He's held a commercial license since August 12th of 2020.
Mr. Gennard?
Yes, sir.
How would you like to plead on behalf of
So
your
we're going
client?
to plead no contest here. We got,
Hold on. Move to accept.
Motion to accept and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries.
Call Frank Vaughn.
Mr. Vaughn has been sworn.
Mr. Vaughn, in front of you, exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular and ordinary course of business of the license on board for contractors for this matter?
Yes, sir.
We'll offer the exhibits into the record.
Mr. Gennard, do you have any objection?
no, ma'am.
The exhibits are admitted.
Mr. Vaughn, if you could explain to the board why this matter came before us.
Doing a routine compliance visit of the job site, and I spoke to the superintendent on the job site to see what subcontractors were working, and he gave me the name of Brendan Mechanical, and they weren't on the sub list. And he said that he gave me the name of the project manager I contacted. It was K-Row was the one they signed the contract with, and Brenham was a subcontractor to K-Row.
And so K-Row had a contract for $93,500, which is indicated at Exhibit 2B. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did K-Row perform any work on the project?
No, sir.
And how did you determine that?
I asked Mr. K-Row.
And it appears that the K-Row AC and Heating LLC is not a licensed contractor with this board. Is that correct?
Correct.
The actual license is with Ryan Joseph K-Row Sr., right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So it contracted in a name other than the license name. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And then this was this air condition works? I guess they were setting an air condition on the roof. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And did someone else perform that work?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So it appears that K-Row did K-Row contract with Branham Mechanical to do the work?
Yes, sir.
And did was Branham Mechanical a licensed contractor?
No, sir.
And did K-Row pull the permit for the project?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the violations as it relates to enter into a contract with an unlicensed contractor, that would be the contract with Branham Mechanical. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And then the allowed a third person to use the contractor's license, that issue would be because K-Row pulled the permit and Branham did the work. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
As far as you know, it appears that Branham's construction contract was a flat fee, $22,500 installation fee. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And I guess the materials is what brings the total up to $93,500. Is that right?
The complete project
was $93,500. Okay. And as far as you know, K-Row did not perform any work on the project?
They did not.
Okay. No further questions.
Counsel, do you have any questions for this witness?
No, ma'am.
No additional witnesses.
All right, do you mind
Yeah, you're right.
sharing?
We just have some things as far as mitigation in this matter. In regards to the first violation, Mr. Carey is in the process of getting the necessary documents to switch the licensing from his personal name into his business name. We in hopes to have this done by the end of the month. In regards to violations 2 and 3, Mr. Caro admits into entering into the contract with Mr. Branham and to him performing work. The only difference in speaking to Mr. Caro is twofold to the board. First thing is that at the time that Mr. Vaughn called Mr. Caro, which I believe was in January this year, Mr. Branham was doing all the work at that time. The only thing that Mr. Caro is contesting is for the work he's done, and we have the receipt to show, but he was there and he helped install the rooftop units. But once the rooftop units and the curbing was installed up top, at that point in time, Mr. Caro did not perform any more of the day-to-day work that was performed by Branham. Mr. Caro did make multiple trips back to Sulphur to take pictures and check the work because his name was on the job. And that was done, and I have the pictures for that as well. And as of to this date, no violations were found with the Golden Chick project. It's my understanding the project, I'm speaking to Mr. Caro, the project just was finished at the end of last month, and no monies or anything has been yet given out on this project.
Have you shared evidence of his appearances, your proposed appearances on site and those things with the investigator, Mr. Vaughn?
Yeah, the only disagreement that my client has with Mr. Vaughn was insofar as the initial work in October and November when they installed the rooftop units. Mr. Carroll's allegation is that he was there for that. He has pictures he took of the rooftop, but he is not contesting that once the rooftop units were installed, and regarding the ductwork, the running of the electrical, that was contracted and that was performed by Branham. There's no argument from Mr. Caro on that point.
Ms. Brown?
So, Mr. Caro, did you have a contract with Brandon Mechanical?
I did, and with Spinoff, the contractor for the job.
With Spinoff?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Spinoff is the general contractor.
Oh, that's
of
the
the
GC.
Chick.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
So, how much was your contract with Brandon?
I think it was for, I'm not quite sure.
It's at page 19.
$22,000.
Yeah.
Cost, it was a flat fee. I believe what was stated earlier.
It's at Exhibit 2D. It's 22,500
Yeah.
at page 19.
Okay.
All right, so basically what you're saying today is that, so basically if it was a $93,000 total contract and Brennan performed 22,000 of that, is that correct? Just
Correct.
so what you're explaining today is that actually you did 60,000, roughly 2/3 of the work, or?
No, ma'am. What he's saying was that his agreement between the two was that out of the $93,000 job, he would pay Branham the $22,000 in regards to the work that he did. And I'm trying to protect Mr. Carroll from talking over himself and tripping himself up.
Sure.
But once the rooftop units were installed, the curbing was done, that was the extent of the physical presence and the physical general work that Mr. Carroll performed. Once that was done, Branham controlled running everything else. Mr. Carroll would periodically show up to take pictures before inspections to make sure that there would be no violations when the inspector came to come look. That was the total compass of Mr. Carroll's work in regards to this job. But like I said, he's not contesting at the time that Mr. Vaughn called him in January. Branham was doing all the work. He was just coming by, basically doing punch out, making sure that there was no violations of any of anything with the parish when they came to come check the job.
So for the board, Branham has been licensed. They have come and they've got their license, and a citation was issued to them. So they are now a mechanical contractor.
Right.
Branham has been licensed.
I'm just trying to figure out who got paid to do the work.
So as of right now, no money has been paid out on the case. On this matter. The money is contracted from Spinoff to pay Mr. Carroll. So there's no money that has been received by Mr. Carroll nor Branham at this time.
So when the money is paid by Spinoff, how much of it will Mr. Caro keep and how much will Brennan get?
Well, Brandon's gonna get that $22,000. I am not sure what his material cost is off the top of my head, Ms. Brown. But he would get whatever would be after the material cost.
Mr. Vaughn, have you any evidence of Mr. Cairo being on the site after January?
No, sir. And if you look on page 30, the transcript, I specifically asked him if he was doing any work, and he said that all the work was being done by Brennan.
Okay.
All right.
All right. And who is going to pay Brandon?
So Mr. Caro is going to pay Brandon what the agreement is between Miners and Spinoff, and the Spinoff will pay Mr. Caro for his work. Out of his work, he will then write a check to Branham for the $22,000 and whatever the odd amount was that Mr. Caro contracted with Branham with to do that work.
All right. At a minimum, it appears that right now we have no evidence to show that the job was managed by Mr. Cairo after
No, sir.
our president.
Besides his words and testimony and the pictures I have of him that he took at the job site.
And that has not been shared with the.
I just got that yesterday afternoon.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Apologize.
right. Well, you pled no contest. We've accepted that. Where we stand now is we've asked you to explain. I think you've done that, and I don't know if the board's prepared or if you're prepared to make an offer. But obviously, a license loan is an extremely egregious offense to the board. There's a licensure process for a reason, and it sounds like the subcontractor now has been licensed. Which we ultimately want. We want licensed contractors performing work in their appropriate classification. But again, we're standing here with little or no evidence in our hands now of you managing the work, your client managing the work after he left, if you will.
And that's what part of it. Part is that we're not.
Do you have anything you wanted to share with the board right now? Do you have any additional?
I have his pictures and everything with me, Your Honor, but I keep saying I apologize. But
Hopefully I'm honorable, but I'm not your honor. Yes, I'm good. I'm just a lonely vice chair, state appointed agency.
Yes, I have what I have with me is that I have the pictures that Mr. Caro took of the job site, went with on times he went, and I have the receipt from him paying the crane company for the installation of the rooftop units.
All right. What are the wishes of the board?
Well, one thing I would like to ask,
Mr. Lambert.
Does the parish accept the work that's being done?
Yeah, so as far as
Can you repeat the question?
The parish or the agency that gave you the permit, did they accept the work as being complete?
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay, that's it.
Ms. Evans, did you say that this was his first appearance before the board?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Caro, loaning that license out is one of the worst things a contractor can do. I want you to understand that. And in the past, historically, we've kind of jumped down contractors' throats for this act. I moved to fine you $2,000 plus cost. And everybody else is licensed as of now, correct?
Yes.
All right, 2,000 plus cost.
Thank you very much.
We have a motion of 2,000 plus cost of hearing, and we have a second by Mr. Broussard. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
We don't expect to see you again. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
just manage the work like you're supposed to. That's why you hold the classification that you do. So,
Yes, sir.
thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming.
Edward Montague Sr. or any representatives present?
Let the record reflect that no one is present. On behalf of Edward Montague Sr.
We have a settlement offer. Edward Montague Sr. of Monroe, Louisiana is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for acting as a contractor to perform work without possessing a Louisiana state contractor's license on the Ed Montague Boxing Club project in Monroe, Louisiana in the amount of $56,472.27. This is his first appearance. He has not applied. However, he was the owner of the project. He's offering a no contest plea, $1,000 fine, and $1,000 cost.
Call Wade Day.
Mr. Day has been sworn.
Mr. Day, in front of you, exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular and ordinary course of business to license the board for contractors for this matter?
Yes, sir, they were.
We offer the exhibits into the record.
Exhibits are admitted.
And I'll submit to the board that Ms. Leanne Evans did a great job on this case, okay, to get us to this point to where we didn't have to have this testimony here today. And so we're submitting the settlement offer for your consideration.
Joseph, move to accept.
We have a motion and a second to accept the offer. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Industrial Plant Solutions, LLC, or any representatives present?
Let the record reflect no one is present on behalf of Industrial Plant Solutions, LLC.
Industrial Plant Solutions, LLC of Baldwin, Louisiana is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for failure to maintain adequate records and provide such to the board within 72 hours for the project at 7095 Louisiana 83 in Franklin, Louisiana. This is their first appearance. They held a commercial license from July 20th of 2020 until April 21st of 2025 when it was suspended by the Enforcement Division.
Call Lori LaRose.
Ms. LaRose has been sworn.
Ms. LaRose, in front of you are exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular and ordinary course of business of licensing board for contractors?
They were.
We offer the exhibits into the record.
Exhibits are admitted.
Ms. LaRose, according to the documents, it appears that a notice of the violation and of this hearing was posted on the door, last known address of Industrial Plant Solutions, LLC. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And since they're a licensed contractor, was that the address that was given as their business address?
Yes, sir.
But that's not the first time they've received notice of the issues before this board. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Explain to the board a little bit about what's going on with this company.
Okay, we received a complaint on this project, and so I attempted to contact Industrial Plant Solutions several times via phone and could never get a call back. I contacted the permit office, and there's no permit that's been pulled for this project. So we sent a subpoena for records and documents via mail, and someone from Industrial Plant Solutions signed for it, and we received it back at the licensing board.
And so that would be Exhibit 2D, is that correct?
That's correct.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So we know they received the request for documents, and we've received nothing to date.
Okay. So as it relates to this particular, if we go to 2A, you have a complaint that is from S&S Construction, Inc. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And S&S said that they bid on a project which at Orion Engineered Carbons LLC plant. Is that right?
That's correct.
And somehow Industrial Plant Solutions was awarded that project. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And according to S&S, their concern was that Industrial Plant Solutions does not hold the proper license to perform the work at that plant. Is that right?
That's correct.
They do hold a limited specialty services license, but they believe that the work that was outside of that license. Is that right?
That's correct.
And so your investigation was to find out or get information from Industrial Plant Solutions as to what work they were actually performing inside the plant. Is that right?
That's correct.
And so you sent a letter to them and said, hey, send us your invoices so that we can determine whether or not you're performing work within your license. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And they have not produced any of those documents. Is that correct?
That's correct.
As a result of that, the board has summarily suspended their license for the failure to produce in accordance with Section 129A, the rules and regulations to produce records within 72 hours. Is that right?
That's correct.
So at this point, the license for the limited specialty services license issued to Industrial Plant Solutions LLC has been suspended. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And it's suspended as a result of their failure to produce the records as you requested it appears multiple times. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And the estimate that we have here of $200,000 is what S&S believes that the contract was worth out at the plant. Is that right?
That's correct.
Other than S&S saying that they believed it was $200,000, we really don't know what the value is because no documents have been produced. Is that
That's
right?
correct.
And S&S didn't produce to you a bid or anything that they made, did they?
No, sir.
Did we reach out to Orion Engineered Carbons on that and request the same information, contract information?
I did and never got called back.
Okay.
They are currently under suspension right now.
Yeah.
They're currently under suspension. So we submit to the board that Industrial Plant Solutions LLC is in violation of Louisiana contractors' licensing laws for their failure to produce records upon request within 72 hours of those requests. And the last notice that we have that was sent, that's part of the records, was a letter was sent February 14th and signed for on March 5th, 2025, and no records have been produced pursuant to those requests. So we ask that the board ratify that suspension that has been made by staff as a result of that violation. And you can issue the appropriate fines and costs, and that also that suspension be in place until the board receives sufficient, or staff receives sufficient information that they feel like Industrial Plant Solutions has properly responded to that request.
So Counselor, we first need to find them guilty of not doing it, all right?
First that, and then
we'll uphold your suspension, uphold the staff suspension, and uphold it and apply any particular fine, but give you the leeway to relieve that suspension once the satisfactory information.
yes, and board, and they have paid the fine.
Yeah. So we got. Let's first take the verdict here. What's the wishes?
Move to find them guilty.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to find them guilty. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. All right. Now, we need fine. We need to support the current suspension, and of course give the staff authorization to remediate that once the satisfactory information and fine has been paid. So I'll entertain a motion.
I want a motion with all of what he just said, with the fine being $10,000 plus cost.
What are we basing 10,000 on? We don't have a project.
Did they say that it was worth $200,000? The project was worth.
We don't have any evidence.
Do we have?
No, I think that it's my understanding that we can only do $1,000 fine.
Okay.
Well, if they're licensed, yeah, but if they're outside of that classification.
Yeah.
All right,
I think I'm sorry. Yeah, I think $1,000 fine for failure
We just
to
don't
produce
know.
records.
Right
plus,
now, so-
plus costs.
All right. Well, that makes it easy. It's $1,000 fine plus cost.
Second.
1,000 plus cost, but
Hold it.
yeah, Mr. Hassert.
Mr. Chair, pardon the interruption. Just for some clarity, I just want to bring a few things. We've danced around a couple things. There's no defined project value here.
Yeah.
There's an
that's it.
estimated one.
Right.
So I would suggest that you gentlemen and ladies do not assess a penalty to this. Certainly, based upon you finding them guilty of the violation
Correct.
as alleged, you can
Gotcha.
address the admin cost. Further, Mr. Lanado is correct to a point, I believe. The staff does require authority to reinstate license as soon as the satisfaction of the staff has been met by receiving the documents. However, you granted us that authority by resolution earlier in the year. So truly, my belief, maybe Mr. Lanado has a different opinion, I always advise you to listen to counsel other than me. I think your proper motion is a finding of guilt and assessment of a fine, and that should be.
And that's it then.
Yeah.
Of the cost.
I'm sorry,
Of the cost.
the admin cost. You cannot assess a penalty with no known value.
Yes.
So just $1,000 cost then.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll second that motion.
All right, currently we have a motion for $1,000 in cost, and we have a second. All right. And that's to uphold the suspension. Yeah.
And also to uphold the suspension.
Right.
Okay.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. All right, so we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries.
Procom Construction Group LLC, or any representatives present?
Can you state your name and your affiliation with the company?
Stephen Keys, I'm the owner.
Okay. Stephen, I'm sorry, repeat that for me.
Stephen Keys.
Keats?
Keys, like Alicia.
Keys, okay. Mr. Keys, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
So help me God.
Keys.
That's a yes or no? That's a yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Am I? Yes.
We got you.
Procom Construction Group LLC of Baton Rouge, Louisiana is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for failure to maintain adequate records and provide such to the board within 72 hours for the project at 1104 Paul Mallard Road in Luling, Louisiana. This is their third appearance. They were here August 15th of 2019 for failure to provide records, pled no contest, and paid $1,500. Again on June 17th of 2021 for entering into a contract with an unlicensed contractor, found guilty and paid $2,000. Applied for a commercial license August 2nd of 2013. That was written off. Held a residential license from May of 2017 until July of 2017 when it was suspended for insurance. Held a residential license from April 8th of 2022 until April 21st of 2025 when it was suspended. And a commercial license from October of 15 until April 21st of 2025 when it was suspended.
Mr. Keys, how would you like to plead to the alleged violation?
I'm willing to get the records that's needed.
Hold on, you got a
Do you have a plea
plea.
for the
Guilty,
alleged
not guilty.
allegation?
Not
No
guilty.
contest.
You
No
can-
contest. No contest. But I'd like to explain to the board what happened.
You would have an
Well,
opportunity
you'll
to
have
do
that
that,
opportunity. You'll have
but you
that
have to make a plea first.
Yeah.
So you have a guilty, not guilty, no contest.
No contest.
Joseph, move to accept.
Temple second.
We have a motion and several seconds to accept. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries.
Call Lori LaRose.
We're going to read into the record the actual.
Mr. Ross has been sworn.
Ms. LaRose, in front of you, exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular and ordinary course of business of the licensing board for contractors for this matter?
They were.
We offer the exhibits into the record.
Mr. Keys, have you had an opportunity to review the documents?
I have.
Do you have any objection to the documents being entered into the record?
No, I do not.
No objection. The exhibits are admitted.
Ms. LaRose, if you could explain to the board why we're here on this records production issue.
Okay. The project came to us as a complaint. I reached out to Mr. Keys for documents, and on the second request, he contacted me, and he could send me minimal information because he was getting his family safe from a hurricane in Florida. So then we followed up a few weeks later to get some additional information, and he sent what he had on his cell phone because his truck had been broken into, and he was supposed to follow up with me after that, and he hadn't, and that was in October of 2024.
And so after that period, did you ever get any additional records from him?
No, sir.
Okay. The records that we have in the file, explain where we got those records.
Okay, I have documents from Mr. Keys in Exhibit 2E, and then we have documents from the homeowner in Exhibit 2I.
And so are there outstanding documents that you're looking for that you have not received?
Yes, sir.
And what are those documents?
We really just received minimal documents. He sent a certificate of insurance, a few of the check payments, a framer invoice, a subcontractor agreement, but we didn't receive any other documents on the project. Some invoices from New Light.
And what type of project was this? Was this a new construction?
No, sir. It was a home that was damaged from a hurricane.
Okay. And what it looks like is it's about a almost a $300,000 project. Is that right?
Correct.
And you don't have invoices and you don't have receipts or documents that would demonstrate the $300,000 project. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And that's what you're looking for?
That's correct.
And the purpose of those documents is you want to make sure that the persons working on the project are licensed contractors. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. No further questions.
Mr. Keys, do you have any questions for this witness?
Yes, I do. Board members,
Do you have any questions for this witness? You would have an
Oh, no.
opportunity to give a statement to the board.
no.
No questions for this witness? Counsel, do you have any further witnesses?
No further questions.
Okay. Would you like to make your statement to the board, testify on your behalf?
I would. Board members, I don't like getting anybody into my personal business, but I told Ms. LaRose, I've been battling prostate cancer for the last 15 months. This project here, we only got to the drying stage. I had a contract with the mother. The mother has 5 daughters. Okay? The mother passed. The daughters told me and all my subcontractors, do not come onto the property or they're going to have me arrested. From this point on, I've learned from my mistakes. I take all my records, I give it over to my attorney. There was a big miscommunication breakdown between my attorney and Miss LaRose, and I told him we'll make sure we get everything over there to her. Okay? Again, I don't mean any disrespect, by not answering. I don't, but I didn't do it in time.
You say you don't mean any disrespect by not returning any calls?
Yeah.
That's very disrespectful. And I know a number of people that have cancer in my family that are contractors. That's an excuse. That's an excuse. What you're giving right now is an excuse.
Well,
You were contacted in 2024 of October to file some paperwork or get back in contact with Ms. LaRose. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And you did not do that at all?
No, my attorney has the paperwork. His name is Joe Conley.
Did you let Ms. LaRose know that?
No.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Again, that's the relationship between you and your attorney at the end of the day.
Yeah,
It's
that's the
still an
problem.
extension of you. That's your responsibility.
And I accept full responsibility for it. We're going to get the paperwork that Ms. LaRose is asking for. But like I said, we only got to the drying stage. But we want to give her whatever she needs.
There's an allegation in here that they've made that you've taken draws, and it doesn't look like the work has been done.
They won't let us back onto the property. Now, there was some work that was already, there's some money that was already due from the mother. The mother didn't pay. So they told us to stop coming onto the property. And my attorney contacted the Williams family attorney and said, how do y'all want to handle this? How can we move forward? And to my understanding, I don't know if their attorney's paid in full or not, but mine, Mr. Joe Conley, is. And they had to go through succession.
Understanding that, again, we've got inactivity on supporting information up to this point. Or lack of action on your end, who's brought us to this table right here at this point.
So at this point, we've summary suspended the license.
Yep.
If we look at Exhibit 4, I think it's 4. Let me just confirm it on here. It says notice of violation. No. If you look, Exhibit 4, he has a summary suspension dated April 21st, 2025. It's at page 96. So it's currently in place. And so we, very similar to what we did on the last one, we would submit that that the summary suspension be ratified, that a fine be, that the appropriate cost be assessed, and that the board be permitted to continue with the suspension, and if the adequate documents are produced to the satisfaction of the board or to staff, that they have the opportunity or they can make the decision as to whether to reinstate the license. But until such documents are produced to the satisfaction of staff, that the license remains suspended.
Yes, Ms.
And I have one more thing to say. On page 64, it shows the draw schedule. The house is being funded by Restore Louisiana Homeowners Assistance Program, and there's been a few checks from them.
Right. And I guess some of that will come back to us, likely depending on the records once we get those. So thank you, Ms. Rose.
You're welcome.
Joseph, I move to what is it, $1,000 for cost, and to maintain the suspension as referenced by council, with the board, with the staff to have the ability to reinstate it once records are provided to their satisfaction.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. All right.
One more thing, board. I'm already approved to take the electrical test. Will you allow me to take it?
Sure.
You can continue to take the test.
Okay. I can?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You can take the test.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. All right. Statutory citations.
Citations have been paid.
All right, so again, as has been requested by the Attorney General's office, we have to enter these citations into the record. And I'm just going to cite them off. And Ms. Starks, if you could follow those. But we offer and introduce them to the record the exhibit packets related to Buddy's Heating and Cooling LLC, case number 2024-1376-01, Advanced Metal Construction LLC, case number 2024-1406-02, Vice Metalworks LLC, case number 2025-0013-02, Legacy Construction and Development LLC, case number 2024-1553-01, Group 4 LLC, 2024-0219-01, Tidewater Dock Inc., case number 2024-1363-01, Burns Mechanical Contractors Inc., 2024-1315-01, GC Legacy Construction LLC, 2024-1301-01, LMK Plumbing LLC, 2024-0560-03, Blanco Construction LLC, 2024-0560-02, Greenlight Solar LLC of Texas, 2024-0948-02, PPS Commercial Unlimited LLC, 2024-0848-01, Ronley Landry, 2024-0887-01, Hollis Concrete Company and Concrete and Company Inc., 2024-1185-01, Matt Mayfield Plumbing LLC, 2024-1142-02, Keeping You Cool Air Conditioning and Heating, 2024-0560-05, AAA Gulf South Service Company LLC, 2024-0520-05, Ultimate Technologies LLC, 2025-0180-01, Chef Construction LLC, 2024-1509-01, Brian James Barra Jr., 2024-0847-01, Invtech Inc., 2024-0007-01, Invtech Inc., 2024-1445-01, Alvarez Construction Company LLC, 2025-0281-01, Corporate Keepers Inc., 2024-0848-02, Automatic Fire Controls Inc., 2024-1540-01, Southeast Plumbing Contractors LLC, 2024-0560-04. Introduce those documents into the record.
All statutory citation previously read into the records. All exhibits are admitted.
Thank you.
We need a motion to accept all the statutory citations.
Joseph, so moved.
Temple second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. All right. Old business. Contingencies.
Jesse Carr Sr. or any representatives present?
Let the record reflect, and no one is present on behalf of Jesse Carr Sr.
We have a settlement offer. Jesse Carr Sr. of Metairie, Louisiana is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for acting as a contractor to perform electrical work without possessing a Louisiana state contractor's license on the Versailles Storage Building project in Chalmette, Louisiana, in the amount of $12,027.98. This is his first appearance. He has not applied. He's offering a no contest plea, $1,000 fine, and $1,000 cost.
Call Joseph Anderson.
Mr. Anderson has been sworn.
Mr. Anderson, in front of you, exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular and ordinary course of business of the licensed board of contractors for this matter?
They were.
We offer the exhibits into the record.
Exhibits are admitted.
Submit the settlement offer for consideration.
Joseph, move to accept.
Temple second.
We have a motion and a second to accept. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Backwoods.
Backwoods Fabricators and Foundation Specialties, Inc. Are any representatives present?
Yes.
Can you state your name and your affiliation with the company, ma'am?
Regina Forrest.
Forrest? All right, Ms. Forrest, you can bring the microphone down to your level. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Ms. Forrest, did you say you were the owner of the company?
No, I am the owner's wife, but I am the current license holder.
Okay. And you're authorized to speak on behalf of the company? Okay, thank you.
Backwoods Fabricators and Foundation Specialties, Inc. of Greensburg, Louisiana is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for failure to maintain adequate records and provide such to the board within 72 hours for the project at 43417 Brittany Street in Sorrento, Louisiana. This is their second appearance. They were here October 16th of 2014 for not having a commercial license, pled no contest, and paid $1,500. They held a home improvement registration from September of 2012 until September of 2013 when it expired. Additional home improvement registration from July of 21 until July of 22 when it expired. They held a residential license from April 28th of 2022 until April 2nd of 2025 when it was suspended, and a commercial license from October 15th of 2015 until April 2nd of 2025 when it was suspended.
Ms. Forrest, how would you like to plead to the alleged violation? You have guilty, not guilty, no contest.
No contest.
Thank you.
Joseph, move to accept.
Temple second.
We have a motion and a second to accept the no contest plea. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Call Logan Cockerham.
Mr. Cockerham has been sworn.
Mr. Cockerham, in front of you, exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular and ordinary course of business of the licensing board for contractors for this matter involving Backwood, case number 2024-1435-01?
Yes, sir, they were.
We'll offer the exhibits into the record.
Ms. Forrest, have you had an opportunity to review these documents?
Yes.
Do you have any objection to these documents being entered into the record?
No.
No objection. The exhibits are admitted.
Mr. Cockerham, explain to the board why this matter is before us.
This matter, we received a complaint and subsequently issued a subpoena for all of the documents for the project. I initially issued the subpoena. They requested an extension to respond, which was approved in Exhibit 2D. And then you can see in Exhibit 2E and F, some of the documents were received. Specifically sent an email stating that not all of the payment records were received nor contract with the homeowner. I received one more email with more documentation, but it was still not everything. And another email was sent in Exhibit 2F, where I stated one more time that I still didn't have all of the contract or the payment records for the subcontractors or for from the homeowners. And so we suspended the license summarily, and that's where we're at today.
So at Exhibit, it appears that at Exhibit 2 or Exhibit 4, we have the notice of the violation, and then we also have the summary suspension, which is dated April 2nd, 2025. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And that was signed for on April 4th, 2025. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And to this date, you have not received the documents you've been requesting?
That is correct.
And that was the reason for the summary suspension, because they weren't produced within 72 hours. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And we're here today because we need to get those records, and particularly the contracts with the subcontractors or agreements with subcontractors, payment records, and any agreement you might have had that was existing with the homeowner. Is that correct?
That is correct.
No further questions.
Ms. Forrest, do you have any questions for this witness?
No, ma'am.
No questions? Okay, Counsel, do you have any further witnesses?
No,
or-
no further witnesses.
Ms. Forrest, would you like to give a statement to the board?
Yes, I would.
Go ahead.
Since I spoke with Mr. Cockerham, my husband has been deathfully ill in Our Lady of the Lake Hospital, where he still is. So some of the material I was able to get to him, I haven't been in my office in 2 months. So I don't know how much longer I have at the hospital before I can get that to him. So I'm asking for a continuance to get him the documents that I have. I don't have anybody else to send there to go get them.
What time? I mean, you don't have anybody. You don't have any.
I don't have anybody that can actually go in and pull the records out of the computers that I have in there. I mean, I'm thinking maybe a couple of weeks. I'm not sure how much longer we're going to be in the hospital, but it's been over 2 months now, and every time I think we're going home, something else happens.
Ms. Forrest, are you continuing to do business while he's in the hospital?
No.
So would there be a harm to continuing the suspension of the license?
No, not at
until
all.
you
I'm
get
fine with that and I don't want to make a decision. I mean, I've been pondering whether I to revoke my let y'all revoke them or,
You're
Or surrender.
now.
I don't know what road, what,
Yeah, right now.
what was the other options? One was revoke, one was to,
Just to surrender it.
Surrender it.
That's been that conversation. So I think at this point, what we have in place is a suspended license. And we would just submit that, kind of what we've done on every case before. I mean, I don't know if are you finished? Say what you
I don't want to, I don't want to surrender my license without actually being able to have this conversation with my husband, where that he's in the right state of mind to tell me what he wants to do. As of right now, my question to you is no, we're not doing business, and I don't foresee us doing business in the future because he is going to be totally disabled, but I'm kind of in a loss. I don't know which way to go.
So you're asking for continuance?
Yes,
until
sir.
Your husband gets help?
I think she's asking for an extension to get the information, and a couple of weeks is what mentioned. So to be consistent.
So before we say anything, our position here is that the license has been suspended because the documents haven't been produced. I don't think she has a problem with that. So what I would suggest is, and what I would make the proposal to the board is that the suspension be continued and ratified, and it be continued until the documents are produced to the satisfaction of staff, just like we've done with everyone else. You issue the cost of this proceeding, and then if they ever produce the records and they decide they want to come back and practice, they want to do the construction work, then they would let us know that. But at least we would have opportunity to receive the documents, and the suspension would be stay in place until such time that the board or staff receives the documents that they've requested.
Mr. Chair, I'm prepared to make that motion.
And let me say this, that there's a second case that's coming right up behind it, 2025-054-01. And if Ms. Forrest doesn't have an opposition to it, we'd like to go ahead and consolidate these two and treat them the same way, if Ms. Forrest doesn't have an opposition to that.
I make a motion to combine both of those.
Joseph, second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? Well, we'll deal with it. Yeah.
And it's the same violation in that case as well. Is that right, Ms. Evans? It's a failure to produce records?
Correct.
And is that correct, Mr. Cockerham?
Yes, that's correct.
And so we would like to go ahead and introduce into the record exhibit number 1, 2, 3, and 4, 2025-0544-01. Ms. Starks?
Has the motion been approved? I heard a motion in a second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Combined.
Exhibits are admitted.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. Do you have any objection to those exhibits being entered into the record? Okay, thank you. The exhibits are admitted.
They didn't say anything. Okay.
That's it.
No, wait. They still have to make a decision up here. Have y'all go ahead and made it? We've combined the two.
We've combined them.
And let's just make a combined ruling on both of them.
Yeah, let's go.
So I move to find the violation.
Well,
No, she's pled no
She's did a no
contest.
contest. I'm assuming she's going to do a no contest on the second. plea.
Yes.
So
Yeah, move to accept.
Second.
we have a motion and a second on no contest plea. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. All right.
Thank you.
And,
No, we got
and
to-
now let's go ahead and make the penalty here.
Let's backtrack for a minute.
Okay.
Since we consolidated both
Right.
dockets, let's get another plea for the second docket that was.
That's what she just did.
Oh, that's what she just did.
She just
I
did, and
missed
that's what
it.
we accepted.
You made me miss it, Brad.
And back you let the record
Somebody
reflect
wake
she's
Brad
talking
up.
about Hester.
Thank y'all. Move forward.
So we're clear for the board. We have both of these combined. And so on both of them combined, our position would be for you to ratify the summary suspension on both. And that suspension would be continue until documents are produced satisfactory to staff. And we're good with issuing one fine for both of them. And that if the documents are produced, then the staff would be given the opportunity to make the decision whether or not to reinstate the license.
So, Mr. Chair, I would move that we cast her the $1,000 court cost.
Right.
And that, as counsel stated, that the suspension on both matters be continued until she produces the records that are to your satisfaction. I think we already have that authority, right?
Yes.
Yeah, under
Yes,
the resolution, and y'all can
All right.
reinstate when they produce the records as needed.
Temple second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
We wish your husband the best.
Thank you.
All right.
Kevin Ingram, Marlon Williams, are any representatives present?
Can you repeat and speak into the microphone for me?
Yeah, Carl Perkins representing Kevin Williams. Kevin Williams. is present.
All right, Mr. Williams, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes.
Thank you.
Kevin Ingram, Marlon Williams of Metairie, Louisiana, is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for misrepresentation of fact by applicant in obtaining a license, problems related to the ability of the contractor to engage in business of contracting, and for conviction of a crime or entering of a plea of guilty or nolo contendere to a criminal charge related to the construction business. This is the first appearance for Mr. Williams individually. He is a member and qualifier for Spark Operation and Heavy General Construction, LLC. Spark Operation has been before the board on two different occasions. They were here October 14th of 2020 for two cases for not having a residential license, pled no contest, fined $19,252.57 plus $1,000 cost to be reduced to $500 and $500 if licensed within 90 days. An NSF check of $893.86 was issued to the board, and the remainder of the outstanding fine was turned over to the Attorney General's office for collection. The fine was paid in full on November 7th of 2023. Spark Operation was before the board again on November 15th of 2023 for not having a license. They were found guilty, fined $13,923.83 plus $1,000 cost. He entered into a payment plan but issued the board an NSF check on November 22nd of 2024 in the amount of $621.83. $10,621.02 has been turned over to the Attorney General's office for collection. They held a residential license from March 22nd of 2023 until December 4th of 2024, when it was revoked for failure to comply with a conditional license agreement. The commercial license from March 14th of 2023 until December 4th of 2024, when it was revoked for failure to comply with a conditional license agreement. Held a commercial license from April 21st of 2009 until July 11th of 2022, when it was revoked for failure to comply with a conditional license agreement. The license was suspended from December 2nd of 2015 until December 9th of 2016 for unpaid child support. Was revoked on August 15th of 2017 for an unpaid judgment and reinstated in September of 2017. Was suspended October 20th of 2017 until March 8th of 2021 for unpaid child support. According to the DCFS website, Mr. Williams currently owes $53,121.40 in overdue child support.
Mr. Perkins, how would you like to plead on behalf of your client?
Mr. Williams would probably like to plead noli contendere on number 1, which is violation of RS 3721 15885. Not guilty to number 2, which is problems relating to the ability of the contractor, its qualifying party, and of its principal owners, principal shareholders to engage in the business of contracting as demonstrated by their contracting business history or experience. And noli contendere to number 3, which is violation 3721 58817, which is conviction of crime leading to plea of guilty or noli contendere to a criminal charge under laws of the United States or any other state related to construction business involving dishonesty or causing physical harm or damages to another person.
So essentially, it's no contest to count 1 and no contest to count 3.
Correct.
And not guilty to count 2.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Is that correct?
Yes. Who am I speaking with? I don't.
Everybody.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah.
So we have a
Where the
no
voice is
contest
coming
plea
from, I'm
for count 1 and 3, and a not guilty to count 2, to alleged violation 2. Is that correct?
1 and 3.
Okay.
Move to accept the 2 no contest pleas.
Temple second.
We have a motion second for no contest for 1 and 3. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
So are we handling all
Let
this
me go ahead.
different? Is it, how are we gonna handle this? Is it gonna be different or
Well, he'll explain.
if it's different, please?
Well, I'm going to call Jared Watson and put in the documents, and then we'll go through that process.
Okay.
Mr. Watson has been sworn.
Mr. Watson, in front of you are exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were those exhibits prepared in the regular and ordinary course of business of licensing board for contractors for this matter?
Yes, they were.
We offer the exhibits into the record.
Mr. Perkins, do you have any objection to any of these documents?
You're entering them in global. Could you go through each one? Just.
Yes.
If I go through each one, I'm gonna. Do you want me to go through each one of them?
No, I just.
They're all been prepared
Which
in the
one
regular
do we-
ordinary course of business of the license board.
Yeah, the only one I'll object to what relates to number 2. Which of these relate to number 2?
To violation number 2.
Yes.
Which
I think they all relate to them. In all honesty.
Yeah.
I'll withdraw the objection. Submit.
Can you repeat that?
Excuse me.
I couldn't hear you. Can you repeat it?
I'll withdraw the objection. You can submit the documents into them.
Okay, and when you speak, can you speak into the microphone for me? Thank you. No objection. Exhibits are admitted.
Are we here for Mr. Watson, and the issues that we're presenting here before the court, the notice of those violations were sent to Mr. Kevin Ingram, Marlon Williams. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And the issue that we're presenting here before the board relates to his qualifying party status. Is that correct?
That's correct.
He's not currently a qualifying party for any current construction company, as far as you understand.
That's correct.
Okay. And as it relates to these documents, let's go through them. In exhibit number 2A is an application for qualifying party status. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And that document was submitted on March 9th, 2023 by Mr. Williams. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And 2 of those, and they've pled no contest to these issues, but 2 of them were qualifying party, legal status, legal questions at page 6. One is, do you have outstanding child support delinquency? And there was a no noted there. And have you been convicted of a felony or misdemeanor? And here's an indication of a no there, and both of those were incorrect. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And then if we go to Exhibit 2B, there is a exhibit that says this is a criminal matter related to Mr. Williams. Is that right?
That's correct.
And the charge that he pled guilty to was to Coben Supply for issuing a worthless check in the amount of $5,371.18. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And that was August 21st of 2014. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And that would directly relate to charge A11 as well as charge A5 and A17. Is that right?
That's correct.
And the problems as performing as a contractor, and that was issuing a worthless check on materials supplied to a contractor. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And then Exhibit 2D is the filing of bankruptcy. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Exhibit 2E is another plea of issuing worthless checks. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And that was dated August 8th of 2024. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. But that charge dates back to before the filing of the request to be a qualifying party. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And what I can see is back to sometime in 2018. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And then there was a guilty plea entered to issuing worthless checks to Patala Construction in the amount of $6,500. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And again, that relates to both the charge of A5, that's count 1, count 2, problems performing as a contractor. Is that right? A11?
Yes, sir.
And then the entering a plea of guilty to a criminal
That's
proceeding.
correct. That's correct.
If you go to exhibit, if you continue in that exhibit, there is at page 32, issuing worthless checks to Southern Title Inc. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And again, there's a guilty plea there. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And that is dated, again, August 8th of 2024. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And it appears that from what the documents show is that charge.
Excuse me. I'm gonna just raise an objection. You're leading him through the whole thing. He formulated the charges, correct?
Yeah.
Could you let him testify? I understand that it's the sake of expediency.
I agree, counsel, on the leading.
Okay.
Excuse me?
I was saying I agree with you on the leading.
Okay.
With your objection.
And that's fine. If we go to Exhibit 2F, what does that show?
Okay. 2F shows some pending charges up in Jefferson Parish coming up for our.
And what are those related to?
And they are contractor fraud. Hold on, let me get the exact thing. He has charges pending for money laundering, contract fraud, and engaging in the business of contracting without the authority. And
I'm gonna raise an objection. He's reading from some sort of paper. If he's not testifying from memory, and he needs to be refreshed, could I have a copy of what he's using to refresh his memory, please?
Do you have a copy of the exhibits?
That's not an exhibit he's reading.
It actually looks like it is.
Is it? Is that an exhibit you're reading from?
No.
Is it?
No.
2F.
No, it's not.
Is there a report in the?
They have
a copy?
I have a copy of the report.
Yeah, but he can't have it. We don't give him the report.
If he's got, okay. Then let's go to exhibit.
Objection is sustained. You're welcome.
Exhibit F. So Exhibit F would be indications of pending cases as far as you know. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What is Exhibit G? Explain that to the board.
G is a CLEAR report, which is a database that pulls information from various law enforcement and court records and everything showing previous arrests, convictions, etc. And in it, it shows.
Okay, I'm going to raise another objection to his testifying from that particular record. That record is hearsay in and of itself. If he wanted to testify about convictions, once he got that report, he should have went to the jurisdiction that issued the conviction and got a copy of the sentencing minutes to offer and produce into evidence, not a copy of the report that he pulled off the internet.
I submit that this is an administrative hearing and that such documents are admitted or admissible.
I note your objection for the record. I'm going to overrule it.
Continue on.
In the CLEAR report, it shows several different arrests throughout various jurisdictions: New Orleans, Jefferson Parish, St. Tammany. Several of which are contractor related, issuing worse checks, contractor fraud, home improvement fraud. That.
I have no further questions of Mr. Watson.
Mr. Perkins, any questions for this
Chairman,
witness?
Yes.
We're here to decide whether or not he's capable of being a qualified contractor. Yeah. With what I heard so far, he is lucky he's not in jail right now.
Mr. Lambert, I'm with you. I was about to appeal to Mr. Pierce, the counselor. Just summarize exactly, where you're going. If you certainly have the right to cross-examine the investigator as well, but there's a tremendous amount of evidence that shows that, and we've seen this gentleman before multiple times. So I'm just kind of wondering where you're going. If you don't mind, let's cut to the chase.
I appreciate that. And the only question I asked of him is that, does your CLEAR report show any items that have been expunged? Would that show expungements?
No, it would not.
So all of this stuff could have possibly been expunged, and you wouldn't know that.
Was it expunged, sir? Everything was expunged?
We need a verbal.
I'm just wondering whether or not the accuracy or efficacy of his report. That's all. But what we'll do, Your Honor, I'd probably like to enter some sort of compromise if that's possible.
Would you like to settle with the?
Mr. Chairman, we ought to be ready.
So we have. Okay, everybody. So
Let's hold up.
where we are in the hearing right now. Have you declined to cross-examine this witness? Have you declined to cross-examine this witness?
Yeah, I'm through with the investigator.
Okay, so we have a no contest plea, 2 no contest pleas, and a not guilty.
And we'd probably like to change the no contest plea to number 2, to the not guilty to number 2 to no contest as well.
Okay, are you playing that with the board? Is that your plea to the board?
We'd like to change that plea to no contest as well for number 2. And
entertain a motion.
I move to accept
the change.
And the only thing I'd say is
We have to
let's go ahead and take care of
accept
it.
the plea first,
Okay.
Mr. Perkins.
Get a second.
We got a motion to change the number 2 to a no contest plea. We have a second by Mr. Lambert. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. All right.
Ms. Starks, I have no additional witnesses I need to call.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Perkins, where we are now, we have 3 no contest pleas for the alleged violations. Would you like to make a statement or plea to the board in regards to a fine and penalty?
Yeah, just a brief statement in that You know, it's kind of like when I first became a lawyer and I was doing death penalty cases. And I went to the death penalty school, and the guy said, you don't want to try to get a not guilty in a death penalty case. What you want to do is you want to save the guy's life. So what I'm saying that for us to say that here is that we don't necessarily see a way out from under this pile of stuff that's here, but we ask the board to possibly, through mercy, give us a way back. A way back meaning a way for him to come back and reapply for his license at some point in time.
So, Counselor, what you're surmising is that we're going to take that license so he can find a way to come back. There's always a way to come back if there's a prescribed period of time where you can come back, if in fact we do take that action. And I'm not saying that we will. That's up to the board right now.
Correct.
But you have so summed up, it sounds like there's a preponderance of evidence that he's not acting as a legitimate contractor. Unfortunately, I mean, I hate to read into what your statement was, but effectively that was it.
What I'm saying is this: is that
I did read into it. I'm sorry.
Some people have different skills.
Yeah.
If he had come to me before he would have done this, I would have had all those misdemeanors and those check charges expunged. His bankruptcy filing was a Chapter 13, which is an individual bill repair. You're trying to repay folks. So I would have indicated on the application I filed the Chapter 13 to repay everybody that I owed. I don't know that he has any complaints for any work that he has done or not done. It's basically checks, and I would recommend to him that what you do is you contract with an accounting agency, somebody who will count all your accounts payable, all your accounts receivable, all your billings, and let them pay your bills. You just do the work.
And those are all fantastic remediation opportunities for him on his life going forward. But what we're doing is judging right now on his past. Unfortunately, that's all we've got.
Right.
And he's got a past, and he's got a questionable past, and it's just tough for me. I'm going to open it up to the board. And
Council, I'm sorry, board, Mr. Clute.
Yeah.
Is the wet? Have you submitted everything you're going to submit, Ms. Perkins?
No, he wants to make a statement, so I'll let him make a statement. I don't know what I can do at this point.
Let's keep it brief. All right, let's go ahead.
Good morning. How you guys doing? I know this package is a lot, and I take full responsibility of it. But I just want to say this to the board as I speak to you guys today. I've been fighting this child support back and forth since 2009. And my license been getting suspended. My account's been getting frozen. So I get these worthless checks charges. That's what my charges is. And I have to plead either guilty or not guilty or no contest. They give me a misdemeanor charge. And like Mr. Williams, it's not going to affect your license. I wasn't writing my checks. I had somebody in my office writing checks. I was trying to make sure I handled business the proper way. As you see before you, I got arrested for everything, no matter if I did it or not, because I'm the owner of the company and because I'm the qualifying party. So I actually started to try to change up everything the way I do it. I tried to fix everything. I tried to go back and try to regroup and fix everything that's going on. It wasn't that I was going out there trying to fraudulent, go before people and take their money. I did the jobs. I even back in November, I didn't receive anything from the board about coming to a meeting in November, but I think that my office accepted the fine. We're trying to pay the fine. I called the board, try to stop that. Hey, some funds is on hold. Can you please not try to withdraw the money out the account? We're going to pay it with a debit card out of another account. That's what's trying to avoid this situation. The situation that we spoke about earlier about contractor fraud, I went and got the license that needed to be done. I filed the job that I got fined for. I had actually done the work. I got with the parish. I did everything that needed to be done back in 23. No matter what happened, I accepted child fines. I did. I've been trying to move and trying to be better. The convictions look like I'm this great criminal, but I was getting arrested for stuff because I allowed my office to send off checks. That's what basically happened. I'm letting y'all know that it ain't like I'm just out here I'm not competent enough to actually, I sat down, I took every test myself. I did the business and law project managing. I cut whatever emails y'all send me, I pay attention to. I try to stand on integrity. I got clients that be upset, whether they upset because they just don't want to pay me or whatever was going on, they go file charges. I get arrested. I can't help what I get arrested for. I've tried not to get arrested, but they still seems to the parish say, well, we're going to arrest you. So once you get arrested, you get a file looking like you got convicted for it, which I didn't, but I keep getting arrested because, hey, this is old charges. This is stuff that dates back all the way from 2015 checks. And it's like I tell the municipalities, the parishes, hey, I will pay the checks, whatever y'all need, whatever it is. We didn't, if I had to bring the state license board proof that they froze my business accounts, what they weren't supposed to freeze, I was sitting in Jefferson Parish Jail because checks was going out for jobs, wasn't fraudulent, the money was in there, the DA had to verify that the money was in the bank, they verified it was in the bank, the judge released me, I paid the checks, and that's what basically happened. I tried not to get anybody else to write any checks for me. Listening to Mr. Perkins, I tried to change up everything back to back, and the more I move forward, it's something else trying to come hold me back. So you guys have all right to disqualify me, whatever you guys want to do. But I'm going to stand here and tell you that I appreciate each and every last one of everybody in this room. I thank y'all for the opportunity from being a state licensed contractor. I've been trying, I'm struggling to keep trying, but this report is not who I am. And I just want to let y'all know that those 5 different check payments was all paid. And I did not write the checks. I gave the authorization. That's why I had to take the charge, because I gave authorizations for my, and if you look at the checks, there was a stamp.
Unfortunately, but you are the business.
Correct.
That is you, and you're ultimately responsible for it. And I appreciate it. If you would come to a close.
Yeah, I'm not come to a close. What I want to say before you guys today is I'm here because I was paying a fine, and then when I called the board to try to reschedule it, my license was suspended because the automatic check didn't go through. All I was asking for was an opportunity to repay it so I can actually move forward and finish conducting business.
Again, the license board is not as interested in the money as we are in legitimate contractors. That's what we're ultimately here for. So, well, look, I'd appreciate it. Appreciate your statement. I think we're going to move as quickly as we can. We're running a little long here to the actual penalty phase. But with that, Mr. Lambert.
The penalty's not going to be paid anyhow. So, but that's the bottom line is we can't have this going on with the public and this kind of turmoil in the contracting business. But I'm going to make the motion that his license should be not suspended, voided, and revoked. And so he gets his business straight, he comes back, we can reconsider it at that time. We don't want to hurt you, but look, you all just said all that's going to be a sponge. If it was going to be, it is a sponge.
It is.
Okay. Why didn't you bring the records?
Because you could go.
No, that's
this man's doing all he can do.
Mr.
Lambert.
So
Mr. Lambert, you have a motion.
So what's before? Just so we're here, we're asking for a revocation of the qualifying party status. That's why we're here, and
that's our responsibility. I second.
We have a motion and a second for revocation of the qualifying party status.
Of that license. We want that license canceled.
Mr. Williamson. All right. I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right. Motion carries. I didn't hear any. Did I hear?
Any abstentions?
Next case. All right. That's it. Thank you, Mr. Williamson. When you get your business in order, you can.
So what we did today, what you guys did today was only revoke the qualifying party status that he filed in December of in 2023, correct?
He can no longer be a qualifying party.
That's fine, thank you.
Mr. Williams, let me encourage you, when you do reapply and come back, be honest on the application.
I didn't
Let
do that.
people-
I didn't
well,
do the application.
I'm just saying, just give people a chance to help you. If you're gonna sign something, just be sure you give us a chance, because it's hard to believe it when you
All right,
find
thank you, sir. Let's move on. Next case.
Modern Views Landscaping LLC. Are any representatives present?
Okay. Can you state your name and your affiliation with the company?
Yeah. Diego Ortiz. I'm the founder and owner of Modern Views Landscaping.
Okay. Mr. Ortiz, can you raise your right hand for me?
Ms. Starks, is this
Oh, I'm
a
sorry.
rehearing?
Is there a motion for
Request for a rehearing. We need a
Make
motion.
Make a motion to rehear.
Second.
A motion second for rehearing. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Modern Views Landscaping LLC of Houston, Texas is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for acting as a contractor to perform work without possessing a Louisiana state contractor's license on the Marcel Contraband Point project in Lake Charles, Louisiana, in the amount of $324,946.68. This is their first appearance, and we do not have an application on file.
No, ma'am.
Mr. Ortiz, how do you wish to plead to the alleged violation?
No contest.
Okay.
Move to accept.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for no contest plea. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Call Frank Vaughn.
Mr. Vaughn has been sworn.
Mr. Vaughn, in front of you, exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular and ordinary course of business of the Licensing Board for Contractors for this matter?
Yes, sir.
We offer those exhibits into the record.
Mr. Ortiz, have you had an opportunity to review these documents?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any objection to these documents being entered into the record?
No, ma'am.
Okay, no objection. The exhibits are admitted.
Mr. Vaughn, according to the documents, it appears that Exhibit 2A that there is a landscaping subcontract or a contract. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And that contract involves Modern Views Landscaping. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And it was for a total amount of $324,946.68. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And that was for a job in Lake Charles
Yes, sir.
to perform landscaping work. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And I think the scope of work is listed at page 6. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
No further questions.
Mr. Ortiz, do you have any questions for this witness?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Would you like to make a statement to the board or an offer as to a fine or penalty?
Yeah, I would just like to say that the situation that we were put in, we were unaware. It was kind of a last-minute contract that we were asked to come back in and help out with the work there, and I wasn't aware. In Texas, you don't need a contractor's license to perform work, and so I wasn't aware whenever we were coming in and helping them out finish the work that I believe it was originally awarded to somebody else. I wasn't aware that we were supposed to have a license a license, and the contract was originally supposed to be going under one of my partner's companies, and come to find out you can't do that either. So it was a job that we didn't even get paid out for. My company being only 1 year in business doing commercial work, we ended up close to $150,000 in the hole with this job. Yeah, it's my lack of knowledge resulted to that, and I just feel really bad about the entire situation, and we do hope at some point, the reason why I'm here is I hope to make amends and make things right, and at some point become a licensed contractor in the state of Louisiana.
What is your intention there, right here?
Yes, sir.
So do you intend to do work in the state of Louisiana? Do you intend to get licensed?
At some point in time, yes, sir. Just because at the moment we're extremely busy in Texas, so this was kind of a favor to help out this one instance that we haven't done business in Louisiana since. So that's my intention. Is at some point I do want to do business in Louisiana, but.
And Mr. Ortiz, so we're clear, the scope of your work, I mean, as we look at page 6, it was putting in irrigation systems and essentially putting in various plants and and I guess some grass. Is that it?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
And was it on the streets in Lake Charles?
No, sir. It was on a property in Lake Charles. It was on Contraband Parkway.
Okay.
All right. All right. So initially, I guess you're requesting a rehearing and a reassessment of the fine is what you're asking.
Yes, sir. Correct.
All right. With that being said, we gave him a max fine plus cost. What are the wishes of the board?
Were you planning on, you have applied for a landscaping license?
No, sir. Well, we have not done any work here. Ever since then, we've been really busy.
The board was shining down favorably on
I think Mr. Stewart, he says he's busy in Texas. He had mentioned before that at some point in time, but not anytime soon, he doesn't plan to go.
I'd rather not.
You ought to make an offer to us if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I was informed by my business partner that he ended up paying, I think, close to $1,000 and basically settling at that. I don't know if that offers
How much you said?
$1,000.
That plus the administrative?
1,000 and 1,000?
If that's okay. I'm not exactly sure how this works. I usually tend to do business by
somebody might need to help him out
by lines.
We got to charge $1,000 for the hearing.
Yeah. So.
And $1,000.
All right.
Fine. Is that what you're offering?
If that's okay, yes, sir.
So we have an offer of 1,000 plus 1,000.
I'll make that motion. Accept it.
Joseph, second.
We have a motion and a second to accept. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? This motion carries. Thank you for coming back.
Okay. So are we okay with 1,000 and 1,000?
Yep.
That's okay. I really appreciate your help. Thanks so much. I don't want to burn any bridges, and I really look forward to doing business at some point.
Well,
in time.
before you come back, make sure you got your house in order.
Yeah, yes, sir. Absolutely. Thank you so much, everybody.
And so you know, you probably have to get 2 licenses. You're going to have to go to the Department of Agriculture, get a license, and a license here.
You wouldn't believe how much research I did to make sure that this doesn't happen again. I take a lot of pride and I have a lot of integrity in my company. So that's one of the things I came here to do. So I really appreciate everybody's time. Thank you so much.
All right, next.
The next item is Mr. Carlos Guzman. He came this morning and requested an interpreter. So can we continue this case, please?
Move to continue.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to continue. Any discussion?
Let me stop 1 second. Are we gonna get an interpreter?
Yes.
Okay. So what I would like is if y'all would just make a motion to rehear the case based on the fact that if he does return with an interpreter, and then we can continue the case. If that's okay with you guys.
All we really need to do is you want a continuance here instead of a rehearing.
What do we want to do? Are we going to have a rehearing?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah,
First, we gotta have a motion to rehear, and then we gotta have a second to continue.
To continue, yes. Okay. That's what I believe the procedure
All right,
should
we
be.
need a motion to rehear.
Motion to rehear, Temple.
Joseph, second.
We have a motion and a second to continue. To rehear. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Now, motion to continue.
Continue, Temple.
Okay.
Joseph, second.
We have a motion and a second to continue. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. All right. Next.
Iron Spade Construction Group, LLC. Are any representatives present?
Yeah.
Sir, can you state your name and your affiliation with the company?
Thomas Baker, the owner of the company.
What's the last name? I'm sorry.
Baker, B-A-K-E-R.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, do we have a motion?
Motion to rehear.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Mr. Baker, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
I do.
Thank you.
Iron Spade Construction Group, LLC of Valrico, Florida is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for acting as a contractor to perform work without possessing a Louisiana State Contractor's License on the Devon Self-Storage Project in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, in the amount of $245,558. This is their first appearance. They applied for a home improvement registration on March 21st of 2025 and withdrew that application. Applied for a commercial license April 23rd of 2025. It is pending.
Mr. Baker, how do you wish to plead to the alleged violation?
No contest.
Move to accept.
Joseph, second.
A motion and a second for a no contest plea. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Called Ronald Dawsey.
Mr. Dawsey has been sworn.
Mr. Dawsey, in front of you, exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular and ordinary course of business of licensing board for contractors for this matter?
Yes, sir, they were.
We offer the exhibits into the record.
The exhibits, I'm sorry, Mr. Baker, have you had an opportunity to review these documents?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any objection to the documents being entered into the record?
No, ma'am.
Thank you. The exhibits are admitted.
Mr. Dawsey, according to the records, it appears that Iron Spade entered into an agreement with Ram General Contracting and Development, Inc. as a subcontractor to Ram. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And the total amount of that contract was $245,558. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And was that related to a self-storage project?
Yes, sir.
All right. No further questions.
Mr. Baker, do you have any questions for this witness?
No, ma'am.
Counsel, do you have any further witnesses or?
No additional witnesses.
Okay, Mr. Baker, would you like to make a statement to the board or as to an offer as to penalty or fine?
Yes, ma'am. I am a Florida business builder contractor's license. I do hold that. Obviously, it doesn't mean much here, but we took the contract. It's my fault. I wasn't aware that I needed a contractor's license to install drywall because we'd had a contract with the general contractor,
Was that for this?
which is Ram, and we're both based out of Florida. Since then, we've applied for our contractor's license here, and I was hoping to get the 1,000 and 1,000. Fine.
What's the status on your? It's pending.
It's pending because I think it's held up because the fine.
Sevens, they're just.
It appears that there's a few issues holding it up on the licensing, and I can't see everything that they see on their end, but there's a couple different issues.
Okay.
And I'm asking. You know why I'm asking? Because I want to be able to make sure that he can get a license in 120 days before we make a
180
motion.
days, what they're saying.
180 days before we make a motion.
Well, you can still qualify that. You can still.
All right. Well, look, I'll make a motion.
Well, he's got an offer on the table. We either need to reject the offer or accept the
I
offer.
move to reject the offer.
Just a second.
We have a motion and a second to reject the offer. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. All opposed? Okay, we got Mr. Stewart opposed.
All right. Well, my motion is to fine you the max plus $1,000. It'll be reduced to 1,000 plus 1,000 if you get licensed within 180 days.
Well, the only issue is that one of the things that's holding it up is my criminal history. I don't know how that'll move forward. And like I said, in Florida, I hold a builder contractor's license, which would supersede
right.
Whatever we was. And the first one we submitted was a home improvement one. I don't know how that happened. That's my office.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second one, to be honest with you, I don't plan on working in Louisiana ever again. But in the process, we were trying to get our license to be compliant with the board.
So there's a possibility of reciprocity. However, because of this criminal conviction, that could hold up stuff, and we don't know if that will hold up him being able to get a license. So when you make that motion, it might
tough.
become.
It's tough.
He might be
That's
unable.
why I was asking. What are the?
Yeah, so
I tell you
we
what.
went ahead and looked at it, and so there might be an issue there that might prevent him from getting licensed. So it might be an impossibility. I'm sorry to say that, but it could be.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Lambert.
let's give him an opportunity to, if he can afford it, raise his offer rather than if he's this other
No,
application going to tie it up. And then if he's not going, if he don't do any work here, that's okay. But we'll have our
Or I restate my motion. I make a motion.
Amend it?
Amend my motion.
Well, as a staff.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I make a motion that we fine him 2,000 plus 1,000.
Second.
We have an amended motion for 2,000 plus 1,000 cost.
And
Any
that's
more
not
discussion?
contingent on anything, Mr. Temple? That's not contingent upon licensure?
Nope.
Not contingent. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right.
We have an
got one
opposition.
opposed. Mr. Gallo.
Mr. Gallo opposed. Just mark that down.
Yeah.
As a
All right.
staff,
checked into the Florida license, see if he's
Yeah, they're working on all that.
They're all-
It's just a recent thing because he just applied, so it's just a recent thing.
So
I do
all right.
hold an active license in Florida, though. With
in
no
good standings.
Yes, sir. I've never been in trouble before now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Good deal. But
Yeah.
you understand now, coming back to the state of Louisiana, what your requirements are, all those things.
Yeah.
As a licensed contractor in Florida, it's tough for us to get into Florida too. So we know that we got to investigate the license there.
Okay.
You should do the same going to any state.
I
So,
agree, 100%.
all right, man.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
All righty. Reports. Mr. Borderline, Treasurer.
Well, financial report at this time seems a little boring after all the excitement we've had. However, we are in very good shape from a financial standpoint with year-over-year revenues up, year-over-year costs down, and year-over-year net profit up from last year. So with that being the case, I would make a motion that we accept the financials as emailed to the board last week.
Temple second.
We have a motion and a second to accept financials as reported. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. All right. Thank you, Mr. Bordelon. All right. Staff report.
We're all present and accounted for, Mr. Kluot, and we are staffing as best and quickly as we can.
All right. Oh, look, I tell you, I want to recognize to your staff and the investigators a very good job, and I appreciate the challenges that are associated with standing up here and dealing with things that you haven't touched in several months. But I applaud the staff on that. So,
And Mr. Kluot, if I may, we'd like to thank you for hearing things that are new to this board, but
Yeah.
I think you're seeing the results of that.
yep. Any update, or would you want to touch on that later? Any code council inspector updates? Anything? So you want to we can push that to next month if we want to.
I'd be more than happy to discuss both the bills.
Yeah.
I guess maybe in the interest of expediency, can we roll through the resolution exemptions and then
Yep.
we can
Let's-
wrap up?
Let's do that. All right. Let's do the board business resolution 2025-10.
Resolution 2025-10. The following resolution was offered by myself, Curtis Joseph, and seconded by Brian Bordelon at the May 15, 2025 meeting. Of the, Thank you, Mr. Bordelon.
Yes, sir.
Of the Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors, i.e. the board. A resolution granting the executive director of the Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors or his designee the authority to suspend a license for failure to maintain the credential or license of another regulatory agency as required for the original licensure by the board pursuant to Louisiana Revised Statute 37:2150 at C, and to further grant the authority to reinstate the license upon satisfaction of this requirement and the payment of any reinstatement fees assessed.
All right. We got a motion by Mr. Joseph.
Second.
Second by Mr. Bordelon. Any discussion? Any more color you want to add to that?
All that I can suggest, this is a very similar to the resolution you passed last month or the month before to allow us to suspend and reinstate licenses that don't have current insurance or proof of insurance.
All right.
The credentialing is essential to the holding of certain license classes.
Right. All right. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? All right. Motion carries. Exemptions. Consideration of exemption request. Mr. Tillage. Let's see.
Standing in for Mr. Tillage.
All right. Standing in.
Based on the committee recommendations after consideration of the applications for exemption of exam, I make a motion that the exemptions as listed and attached to the agenda be approved, beginning with Noah Benjamin Baker and ending with O'Neill Jamal Parker on page 7 of the agenda, with the following exceptions or specifications. Michael Easterlin is passed only for earthwork, drainage, and levees, and O'Neill Jamal Parker passes only for building and residential. I so move.
Temple second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. All righty. Let's see. Anything else?
Did you want to talk about the bills?
Yeah, go ahead if you would.
Real quickly, members of the board, there are two bills that directly impact this agency before legislators right now. It is Senate Bill 122, and that's the bill that was circulated to y'all earlier in this year that makes some changes to the board's operations and maybe a little bit of tightening up, if you will, of some regulations and wording specific to granting of licenses, tying it to backgrounds. That also has to do with some additional language as far as what could be some violations in the future, some things that we've kind of missed out on in years past. The most noteworthy one is operating or building at something without a permit as required, or not getting inspections as are required. It is being outlined as a direct violation now. It is the adding of the roofing class for residential to create a roofing, I guess you could say, lack of better words, a subclass of the residential license, and that would remove the ability of the home improvement contractor to put on a residential roof. Home improvement, as you all are aware, is a non-tested entity. So you'd have to take a test or be a residential contractor to do a residential roof. That's to assist the Department of Insurance in their quest to hopefully lower all of our extremely challenging rates. Senate Bill 228, again authored by Senator Abraham, is at the request of the governor's office and the fire marshal to move the Louisiana State Uniform Construction Code Council, I think that's what it's called, LSUC, over here. That bill is essentially a movement bill. It picks up the Code Council and puts it here. That's all that's in it right now. That's moving just as well, so we anticipate having yet another hearing or another meeting monthly with the Code Council as we determine what needs to be adjusted in that.
And we support it administratively. They still maintain their board,
they maintain their full autonomy. You guys really don't have much to do with them per se. They share an executive director and staff.
Yep. Okay. All right. With that, any more information? Any more business?
Yeah, one little thing of business. You commended the staff for being so good. I have to also say that the new director's done a terrific job too, and it's.
Mr. Lambert, remember that next month,
and
if you will.
Due to his leadership, that the staff is improving like it has. It's done a wonderful job all the time I've been here, 50-some years, but it's doing a great job.
Well, Mr. Lambert, I appreciate you pointing that out. That's not going to come out of my mouth, but yeah. No.
I'm hoping it comes out of your checkbook.
No, we do appreciate the job you're doing, Brandon, yes, and the staff. So,
and all I can tell you is we're moving pretty fast in a lot of different directions around here.
Yep.
If I can make it to the end of the year without an assassination attempt, I would be pleased. But we are very, very much full speed ahead.
Yeah.
Hopefully it wraps some things up.
Well, we do recognize with the addition of both the Code Council and the inspectors that it is a tremendous amount of additional work, and what you guys are doing to prepare for that, and looking at it both from a financial perspective and a staffing perspective. It is a great undertaking, and we appreciate the diligence on that.
And we appreciate that. Thank you all for that recognition.
All right. I'll entertain unless there's nothing else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I think Mr.
I'm
there
sorry.
you go.
Mr. Gallo?
Motion to adjourn.
Okay.
Second.
All right.